Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. This is our daily NBA show that we've been doing with Troy West from allplayswin.com. Troy West has been particularly good covering the NCAA tournament with us. I believe he's 15-10 or 16-10 or something like that overall against spread in the tournament with us. Troy West, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, thanks, Pete. Yeah, we just can't catch a break in the NBA. Last night as I talked to you, my God, the over-under in the Portland game misses by 4, and oh my God, it looked like I cashed my money on that, but hey, nonetheless, we'll pick it up here in the NBA. We've had a really successful season on our website, so we're looking to elevate our game here with SBR Videos as well.
All right, but no, stuff like that is de rigueur in the NBA, day in and day out. I mean, if you need a 40-point fourth quarter for an over, winds up going to like 38 or 37 or even 33, never a shot. That is day in and day out occurrence in the NBA. That's why these lines are so tough. But let's see what you can tell us about the 4 games tonight. We've got a game involving Atlanta and Golden State. At this point in the season, the big issue with them is who's going to be playing, who's out. I'm seeing Detroit -5.5 or 6. So I haven't even checked the news, but I'm assuming that means that a substantial amount of Atlanta players are out. But Detroit has been going over recently, and the last time that Atlanta rested all their starters, they had a very high-scoring game that went way over. So maybe a shot with the over 196 might be a sneaky good play there. And Golden State has kind of a rivalry history with the Clippers, though, so they're a 3-point road underdog right now. The Clippers are playing very well, but it seems like maybe most of Golden State starters are playing, so maybe they might be actually a good play at +3. What's your take on the Atlanta or Golden State games tonight? Just pass completely as of at least right now because we don't know who's actually going to be in the starting lineup or not?
Yeah, I would say pass completely. I think looking at it from a gambler's perspective, the Atlanta-Detroit game, it looks as if Atlanta will be sitting every single guy. Once again, Millsap, Horford, Teague. Looks like those guys will be out. I think that's why the line's where it's at. It's just a pass to me. Will the backups come in and produce? They didn't produce against Charlotte the other day, so that gets a little bit tricky. And then, like you said, Golden State Clippers. Man, the Clippers are playing great basketball right now. Golden State, we know, is locked up that #1 spot. This could be a playoff-style basketball game that comes down to the wire. Getting 3 looks good. Or Golden State could say, we're going to rest Clay a little bit, maybe only play him 25, 30 minutes. It's just such a difficult crapshoot at this point in the season. So I'm going to pass on both those games.
Golden State, even though they've got the season pretty much wrapped up, they've covered 7 in a row. The Clippers, though, are 5-1 against spread over their last 6, so I can see why that would be a pass. But with Atlanta-Detroit, now, going back to that one, the last time Atlanta rested all their starters, it went way over, and Detroit has been going higher scoring recently, so maybe the over, it's not a high total, 196, maybe that might be the play of the day, or do you not like that one either?
It's tough for me to go with the over when you take out that many guys that can score.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming off the bench with a bunch of scrubs, Pete, and I know it did go over because of the lack of defense, and then you did see a little bit of a quicker style pace game, but it's hard for me to go right back to the over when you look at guys on the court and you can hardly pronounce the name. It's tough to see. You're going to get a lot of scoring, so that's a pass for me as well.
All right, I hear you. And then there's another play that's looking a little bit too obvious that's making me nervous. I'm still liking it, but it's making me feel like it's just a sucker play. And that's the over in Indiana-Brooklyn. That's a very big, this is a huge game, playoff implications. And just if you look at how these two teams have gone recently, Indiana's gone over in 5 straight games. The Nets are 5-3 over-under in their last 8, and the total's 198. And these two teams have been routinely going over 200 over their past, 5 or 7 games, each scoring, easily 100 points. Brooklyn, in their last 2 home games, have gone over 100 points themselves, and just both teams have been getting into the 200s regularly. The last time that they met up was about 4 or 5 games ago, and that game went way over. It was a very high-scoring game. The total opened at 199, though. Now it's gotten bet down to 198, so that reinforces my sense that it's a sucker play, and it is a very big, a game with big playoff implications. But just based on the once over, last time they met, 234 is what the game went to. So maybe the over 198 might be a decent shot with Indiana-Brooklyn.
I could see that going over, but this is actually my official play on this game is actually on one of the sides in this one. I like the Brooklyn Nets. I really do. This team has been a good bet for me as of late. We had them over the Cavaliers as a big dog at home. They ended up winning that game outright. And then just over the weekend, they took care of the Lakers and covered as well on that. They've been a pretty solid bet. I like the way that they're playing. And remember, this is the veteran team that really has underachieved most of the year. Guys like Joe Johnson and Deron Williams, Lopez, This is a very talented roster that's underachieved. Now they're really making that playoff push even as much as they've underachieved. I think it's too small of a number for them at home. This is not an easy place to play. I know the Pacers are playing good ball, but they're obviously still banged up. I like the Nets to get it done tonight and win this game.
Well, that's an interesting line there, Troy. Right now, it's Brooklyn minus 1.5 or 2. For the purposes of our record keeping, we can give you Brooklyn minus 1.5. The line opened at excuse me. The line opened at 2.5 though, and I was thinking that maybe Indiana would be the play there. You know, Brooklyn won the last game in Indiana, so it's kind of a revenge spot for Indiana. They beat Dallas in their last game. They're in the thick of a playoff hunt as well. And I was thinking the line looked a little bit fishy at plus 2.5. I was thinking Indiana might be the play at 2.5. Now it's moved down. Does that line movement concern you, Troy?
Doesn't concern me, Pete. You know, this Pacer team I know is getting some value from the gamblers out there because they've been consistent, but they are much, much better at home than they are on the road. This is a tough place to go play. First game of a road trip for the Pacers. Big home game for the Nets. I like the home team in a game like this.
All right, well, it's Brooklyn minus 1.5. And if I was going to make a play on a game tonight, I guess it would be either be the over in over 198 in Indiana Brooklyn or the over 196 in Atlanta Detroit. If you had to, which of those plays would you recommend more than the other?
I would go probably the over in the Brooklyn game if I had to do it. It's because, like you said, the lack of defense, and both these teams have been scoring. You know, Brooklyn put up 107 in their last game against the Lakers, so it looks tempting. I'd actually use 105, but I would go over if I had to, Pete.
Well, those are both leans for me, but I think I'm going to pass on both of them. You just never know. These NBA lines are very, very tight, and Indiana, of course, has a history of playing very low-scoring games. So I lean towards the over in that one, but I'm not going to make it an official pick. We only got 4 games tonight, and the only free pick we're going to give here is from Troy West from allplayswin.com. Brooklyn minus 1.5. And Troy, we know you've been kicking ass in our videos in the NCAA tournament. Tell us quickly before we let you go what allplayswin.com is all about.
Thanks, Pete. I appreciate it. Yeah, 9 years in this industry, Pete. We've just been going strong. I cannot wait for baseball season, Pete. I hope we get a baseball show going with you guys. I'm heading on down to Scottsdale actually tomorrow for spring training once again, and we've just been on fire. And Pete, customer service is huge in this industry, and you're not going to find better customer service than what we have to offer. So I encourage people to come take a look at allplayswin.com.
Thanks so much, Troy. Once again, talk to you tomorrow.